Hi, it's Adrian Singh once more, and welcome to my podcast. Today, continuing along the journey with sharing all the knowledge that I have been getting through Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets, which has been a very transformative book, not just for me. As you go online and you look at the reviews that this book has globally, a lot of lives have been transformed in terms of the way they see business and the clarity in which they view how to progress as an expert in any given field. So today I'm going to touch a little bit from the book. We're still on chapter 1. We haven't even crossed chapter 1 as yet. But we're going to touch a little bit on who do you need to become as a leader. So as we begin to develop our expertise in any given area, people begin to take notice. People begin to follow us. People begin to ask us questions, especially those who are on that similar journey, and they see us as someone who have progressed along the way, and we have a level of expertise. So they want answers. Now that's a significant responsibility because you are now being called upon to advise, to be able to share your experience and so on. So you are in the role of a leader of a tribe, your own personal tribe. And as a leader, one, you need to become in a few areas that we're going to identify that will shape you as a leader. So one of the ways, J. Abraham, before I get into that, J. Abraham once said that people are silently begging to be led. So and I truly believe that. So even though people are not coming up and asking you in the beginning, inside they are quietly looking for you to show up as a leader and to lead your tribe. Now that will go to any particular person, whether you have a position in a company where you are a supervisor or a manager. If you do not show up as a leader, people are not going to take you seriously. People are going to say, well, you have a position, but you are not a true leader. So to show up as a true leader, there are certain things that you need to become. And I'll just touch on a few. So the rule number 1, you need to become an attractive character, not an attractive person in looks, an attractive character, and live the life of your audience wishes you to live. I'll repeat that. Become an attractive character and live the life your audience wishes you to live. The key is to understand that people will follow you because you have completed the journey that they are on right now, and they want the result you have already achieved. They want to be just like you. The gap between where they see themselves and where they see you is what moves them to action and keeps and helps them to make the necessary changes. So if you are not willing to show them both sides, where you came from and where you are now, they won't take action. That's why it's so important to live the life that your audience wishes they could, because that will inspire them more than anything else you can ever see. So you must show up in your actions, in your words, that you are the kind of person that they want you to be, right? Rule number 2, maintain absolute certainty. Right? Maintain absolute certainty. It is said that in any situation, the person with the most certainty always wins. I'm not talking about self-confidence. I'm talking about certainty. Self-confidence is for kids. Okay, certainty is for experts. If you want to make an impact, you have to be certain. Certainty is what draws people to leaders, to experts. Gaining certainty takes time. It begins with you sharing your message, often so you can find your voice and become certain in what you are teaching. The more you share your message with others, the more certain you will become. So maintain absolute certainty at all times. Your confidence must be unshakable. Rule number 3. And I laugh when I read this because I see it so many times. Many people who are experts, they are so technical that they are boring. So don't ever be boring. Try to make no matter what your area of expertise is, try your best to make it excitable. Try to make it enjoyable so that people will be able to connect better with you. Right? Your audience, so don't make it boring. That's rule number 3. Your audience must be fascinated with what you have to teach. If you are boring, they are not going to connect with you. I've watched a lot of experts come and go over the past 10 years. And I have spent a lot of time trying to figure out why some last and others don't. This is what Russell Brunson is saying. The one thing I've noticed across the board with almost all experts who have had outstanding success and stayed relevant is that they have been highly prolific, meaning they are excited. They connect well with their tribe. Rule number 4. Understand how to use persuasion, storytelling. Russell Brunson says, in one of my favorite books on this topic, the name of the book is The One Sentence Persuasion Course by Blair Warren. Blair is a persuasion expert who spent over a decade studying and using persuasion. During that journey, he broke it down exactly how to persuade people in one simple sentence. And it goes like this. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. Let me reread that one more time. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. And once you connect with any one of those, you can now use the power of persuasion to be able to bring them onto your side. I will, in another podcast, go into every one of these in a little more detail. But this is very, very important to be able to connect, to be able to use, and we see it in every sphere of life. In politics, we see it. In leadership with governments, in companies, where people use persuasion to be able to bring people and convert them onto what they see as best for them or good for them. And the last thing I'll touch on here is rule number 5, care a lot. The next part of being a charismatic leader is showing people that you actually care about them. There's an old saying that goes, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I'll read that one more time. There's an old saying that goes, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If your audience thinks that you're in it just to make money, your vehicle for change will not last long. Your following will not grow. In fact, it will shrink very quickly. If you choose your ideal clients correctly, you will have people you'll be willing to serve and teach and train for free, because that's how much you care for them. So you would even teach people for free because you care about them in their journey to learn what you possess. So in conclusion, I'll just summarize. These are a few of the keys to becoming a more interesting and charismatic leader. Understand though that you don't become a leader overnight. Start sharing your message and become consistent with it so that you can find your own voice. Share your backstory, share your fears, your flaws, your failures. Show people that you are real, you are human, not that you are a machine, not that you were born in and successful overnight. People don't like to be led by people like that. They want to see people who have progressed on a journey like themselves. They can connect to that person and that they will be able to, the person exhibits real qualities that they could connect with. Be transparent, and over time, you will naturally become the leader of your tribe and what they need you to be. So that's my lesson today. It's a little longer than the others, but there are a couple rules here that I quickly summarized, and I think that will be useful. So thank you again, and look out for my next webinar.